Welcome, this is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are working with a pattern from friendshipbracelets.net. It is number 37635, and it is this one. It is a two-color bracelet. Um, okay, so first off, I really liked how nice and symmetrical and fun it was, and how it sort of bounces back and forth, and these little triangle things are on both sides. The thing that really kind of messes me up and I don't understand is why the string count is weird, right? So out of 12 strings, it's got 7 white and 5 blue. And I'm not sure if that's necessary or if that was just easier or what. So we're going to see when we recreate that if that was something that had to happen or kind of what was going on there. So the first thing I need to do is I need to rotate this 90 degrees. And then I need to blow it up. This is the scale tool. And scale that up. And shift it over here. I'm guessing that we're going to put like this in the middle. And then we're going to put that onto a new layer so we can move it around if necessary. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I might wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I need to move this line here down 1. To there. Is that? So this is sort of important because of the way we're going to flip it to make sure that we have that right smack dab in the center. So that's a thing. So now we can move this down a little bit. And let's pick a couple colors to use. I mean, I guess I can kind of just use the colors it came with, right? They're not terrible. All right, so, oops. Have to change the layer that you're working on in order to get the stuff to work. So, yeah. So that's this one here, right here. It skips one, it's over here. And it does this cool zigzag thing that sort of bounces back and forth. Part of my expectation is that we can balance out the colors and that we can make this so that way it's a little bit easier to make. But we'll have to see. So yeah, this little diamond that was on this side is now over on this side. I don't know why. I just think that is so incredibly cool, but it is. It's fun. Like if it hadn't been balanced like this, I would probably have remade it to do this. Like that's essentially, I mean, you've seen some of the patterns that I redid, right? Like this would be a thing. So this is going to end a little bit weird. What would be, this would be on the other side of this, right? Wait, how far out would that go? All the way, yeah, to there. And then this would have come back the other way. So we kind of already laid out half of it. The question is, what happens with the underlying strings and can we balance those out? Because it'd be nice if we could balance it. It'd be easier on picking the colors, getting the, you don't have to have an extra skein of the white, and then have more left over of the blue. I mean, it just kind of doesn't make sense if it's not necessary. So, um, all right, let's say that the blue for this came this way. And then yeah, see, it doesn't just go straight across. This sort of bounces. Yeah, it's quite possible that maybe it does exactly what it has to do in the pattern that they created, and that, I can't get around it. However, we have seen in the past that I do sometimes come up with some clever ways of fixing stuff, so we'll see. So I'm kind of just following this one string down and seeing how it would go, and it's getting used an awful lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a really bad thing. Could be a really bad thing if we're gonna end up running out of string because one gets used more than others. All right, let's come over here. So far, this is just two of the white strings. Ooh. Yeah, this is going to have to come back this way, right? And then that dark blue can be part of that row. So that's good. We're not breaking any rules or running into huge problems. It is peculiar, though, how it seems like they always have to bounce. They're not coming straight forward, which I'm not sure if that's going to come back to be a problem. Because normally on the two string of two colors, there's two different ones, that if you can get it to just kind of go straight off the edge and come down and do all the things, it's kind of better, but it doesn't seem that that's possible with this yet. Right? All right, so there's two of the strings. Hmm. I kind of don't want to have to work two of them at the same time, but it almost makes more sense to kind of do this for a second just to see. See, this brings these two to here, and then that means that one can go straight and one can come over that way. Okay, so that takes care of that coming through. And this one here takes care of these two. Oh, that's kind of fun. So that gives us 2 on this side as well. And then this can come through. Interesting, interesting. So yeah, I mean, so far it's all working. We're getting the string to go to the places we need it to be. So that's good. There's just this one that keeps kind of popping up periodically, but I think we still have like one more string to work in to keep this balanced. So we'll see what happens with that in a second. Great. So that's 3 whites on this side, and we have we only have 1 on this side. Here's the other one. Yeah, okay. So in my scenario, we've actually reversed what they had. They had more whites. If we look over at this, right? They have more whites than blues. And we have basically are going to have covered all of the whites here with the smaller number. So yeah, I'm going to guess that means that we can, well, we'll have to try the blues. Well, I don't want to speak too soon. It's, you know, but I think we're going to be able to slip in one more white, balance it out so there's an even number of both colors, which means that we have definitely put my spin onto this pattern because I will have essentially made it so that way. Well, I double up my string, right? So it would be I would use for this if this balances out right, I would use 2 skeins of the white and 2 skeins of the blue, and that way I can double up my string and have it just like this. If I was doing the single stranded, then I would only need 1 skein of the white and 1 skein of the blue. So that's way better. All right, so let's go back to this one string that we've already started with and kind of follow its path and see what it's doing. Yeah. For now, I'm just going to go ahead with the whole bouncing it in. It kind of puts it right into this row right here where we need it, which sort of just works. So, you know, it's I'm not aiming at trying to do straight edge stuff, but it might come down to looking like that at the end. That's not my intention. So let's go with the ones that are on this side. See, now here I could either like go straight or change it. I think I'm just going to go straight. Again, I don't know why it always seems to want to come off that edge funny. Like I've done a lot of these 2 color type things, and I can say it typically this is not how it usually goes. It's something in the math. I know that like there is some level of math in bracelet design that's well over my head. If I could understand it, if I could grasp what that math is about, um, I would love that. I would think that would be like the coolest thing because um, I just noticed certain things have certain trends, and it can be fascinating to me how that all works. So, so this is kind of neat. This one solves for the problem of the little ones in the corners of like this diamondy thing, as well as it takes care of this middle one right here. And then this one. So I wonder when people are designing bracelets themselves, like people other than me, do they take into consideration that balancing out the colors might make it easier for somebody? Or are they just looking for a means to the end to create a pattern to do an effect? Like this one has this effect of a zigzaggy line that bounces from side to side. And that was the only goal, was to just make that a thing. 'Cause I don't hate on the idea of just doing what it takes to achieve something. Because obviously, in some aspects, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am working to achieve my effect, which is to balance out the colors. Um, looks like I can actually do these two at the same time. It looks like this one's going to be our white. But these two sort of run a... Well, I thought they ran parallel. Not really. This one seems to run to the edge and then just sort of came straight down. Interesting. So a lot of these where it comes and crosses over like this, you can take the one that's going along and just run straight with it, which is good. It lets you change up strings so that way they can be not just used all the time and run short. So that's awesome. Yeah. And we balanced out the colors because, yeah, this is 3 white on this side, 3 white on that side. And it looks like a straight edge type thing, but we can run this along straight so that way it exchanges one string for the other and stuff like that as well. So awesome. And yeah, you'll be able to see me make this. So that'll be a thing. And when I do make the making it video, I like add it to the same page over on my website that the pattern and stuff is on, so that way you guys can actually like um, check out how the pattern was made and then the actual thing itself. So there we go. Awesome. So now I'm just gonna copy and paste the top half, and I'm gonna use the flip tool to flip that vertically. the move tool to bring it down here. And why is... Oh, I have to fix something. I see I made a mistake. I didn't even notice. Right here, this was supposed to be a white one, so this would be a white one as well, and that gives us that part. All right, guys, there is our pattern, and yeah, it's obviously very different from the original because you know the whole balance of the strings and stuff. So there you have it. All right, before I go, I want to thank my Patreon supporters who make these tutorials possible, and invite you guys to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. It helps out the channel a whole lot. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.